One thing I've realized in Geometry Dash is that over time, as your skill increases, your conscious decision making decreases. For example, if you play Stereo Madness, you're assessing the environment and choosing when to click. But if you play any list demon, you're never making that decision in real time. It's a predetermined script that your mind is just executing. And this leads me to my question. At the highest level of play, are you really choosing to click, or is the output of your attempt predetermined based off your practice? A beginner will always be making decisions. An intermediate will have occasional clicks memorized. An expert will have almost everything in their head, but a master isn't deciding at all. They're executing a script. The reaction skills that you see are based on the memory they've built. I've seen time and time again that good players clearly have a set click pattern. People have even memorized Doggy's click pattern just from watching Grief streams. What's interesting is that my question here creates a paradox. I don't think you're selecting your inputs mentally at this level, but you're still fully responsible for your results. Raw skill might be the accuracy of decision making, but when you incorporate a memory level or a level that you need to learn, it adds to the barrier of skill. Pro football players have less brain activity when playing compared to amateurs because of the same thing. It's all a mental script. You don't need to think as much as you get better. It only becomes automatic once muscle memory is formed. But does that mean that once this happens, you no longer have responsibility for the result? As if you not practicing enough led to that result, that there's nothing you could have done about it and you just have to practice more? I think that over time, the highest skill level will correlate but not be directly tied to the hardest levels because skill level doesn't include luck. You can get so unbelievably lucky that nobody will ever be able to beat the level but you. If top gameplay is automatic plus variable with luck, how much control does the player really have? If our human limit of timing precision is tested to its maximum, what chance does that give us of beating a level beyond that skill? If we use the Swordy's paradox, that at some point a heap of sand is no longer a heap of sand, how many grains do we have to remove from an impossible level for insane luck to let somebody verify it? If I swapped the last click in Thinking Space 2 for a 1440 FPS frame perfect, I bet there would be no victors for a solid year and a half. It would still happen, but you would only have like a 5% chance of getting through that last click. As we stack more and more impossible clicks on, the chance decreases, but it never becomes zero. If Doggy beats Grief in 400,000 attempts, this should mean that beating a level twice as hard should take twice as many attempts or hours to complete. But does Doggy ever have a choice to not click once he gets to Taco's Parting Grief? And why does Zoink appear to never fluke levels even though he is widely regarded as the best player of all time? Tidal Wave, Orbit, Flame Wall, and Thinking Space 2, he died on the literal last click for all of them. I think it comes down to the fact that flukes are caused by inconsistency. When a lower skilled player gets a crazy run, luck is usually a big factor for it, but Zoink tends to earn it every percent, and he's proved it through his clear skill level. He's one of the only people I've seen that earns the run, causing him to die at any percent he hasn't practiced as much. And this ties into the skill idea because it's rare that luck isn't involved in Geometry Dash even though it seems like it's purely skill based. Doggy even said,
I have never been more locked in my life. Like, I was gonna beat that.
does this mean that it'll only happen to him when he reaches this deep of a flow state from getting far in the level? Or does he get locked in from some kind of external factor that he should be able to control? Here's some fun facts. Zoink verified Orbit right after getting 38%. Doggy got 40% on Grief before getting his 97 run. Why is it that most verifications happen right after a decent run, like 40 or 50%? It seems like this tends to prime a player for a perfect run by having the exact code of their clicks perfectly fresh in their mind, while keeping the stress signal static so even though it remains high, it doesn't spike, leading to a death. The hardest level in the game is not equal to the highest skill ceiling if luck is a factor. Therefore, the top one will keep getting harder while being less reachable over time. At the highest level of anything, skill isn't the ability to make good decisions. It's the ability to build an automatic system that can survive nerves. I don't think this is about free will as much as it's about habits. They quiet down your mind and run on autopilot when everything else should fail. Players stop choosing during the run, but they're still responsible because every automatic action was created by thousands of conscious choices beforehand. So in the end, you're not really choosing each click, you're just watching the result of all the hours you've practiced. Subscribe.